Malwen. Malwen. Hi guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy guys and we're corner. And thanks to COVID-19 we get to do many things that we actually wish we had time to do. So today I'm happy you're actually here and you're tuning into my channel. Today I actually want to talk about how do we raise kids in a godly character. But this is going to be a series, so you actually have to keep up. But this is the first one, and I'm hoping that you are, or you're going to learn much that maybe you are not aware of. So, guys, let's get into it. Like, oh, I'm excited. Like, I'm always excited to learn new things, and especially if they apply to me as an individual or my kids or my families. We're here to grow, we're here to get better, we're here to learn more about the Lord and what He intends with our children. How did this started? Parent ministry for me. When I married my husband, I always had this idea of actually being able to prophesy children from a young age and being able to raise them according to the way God has intended, according to the calling that they have in their lives. So we started a program called Word from the Womb, and we had our first program that we had to run via the Huma birthday party for their baby girl. We were invited and we had to prophesy almost every child in the room. It was quite an experience, and I loved it. I love being able to speak meaning into a child's life, and especially one that is godly filled and godly spirited and godly what do you call it, inspired. So guys, um when you are planning to be a parent, some of us get into it by surprise, like boom, it happened, whoa. But that doesn't excuse you from preparing yourself, from getting ready to being a parent. And I want us to talk about being ready, readying ourselves for parenting. First of all, readying ourselves will start with basic maturity. You actually need to ask yourself, what will you invest in your child? You know, not just, oh, I'll teach them, I'll raise them, I'll give them what they want. No, no, no. What will you invest in your child? So what is it about you that is so special, that is so different, that you would want to teach your children? What will you invest in their lives? Where someone else can do the same thing, but how will you specifically be the one to raise your child in a route, in a way that God has planned for you to do? Um and also being readiness for child takes you to actually learning how to put others first, how to live for somebody else and not just yourself. And then it means your selfish tactics must you must shy away from them, because being a parent means that you actually have to put aside your selfish needs, and your child, now they start becoming first. um, so also your readiness also reflects on your softened heart. You cannot be a parent and still be hard-hearted with yay kukwamla nenze into endithi maniyenze. No one is here to tell me what to do. I'm here to tell you what to do. But your heart must be soft, because children are like a heartbeat of God. So your heart must be ready to love and also to receive help in the process, because that's what we think. We think we're here to raise these children on our own and nobody else should impact or influence them, but that's not the case. If that was the case, God would not invented family, would not invented friends, and we would not have cousins, we would not have colleagues or any other person that will influence the child's upbringing. Okay, so what we need to understand as parents is that we also need shaping just as much as our children, because we think that when we are parents, now we're done growing, now we have to raise the child. No, 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 no. We need shaping as well. You need to look at yourself and see, where do I need to change? Which things will not benefit my child that I need to let go of? Some people still smoke, some people still drink, some people still slip around and bring different guys in the home. You're still watching porn, you're still addicted to porn, like things that won't be beneficial, that you actually can say, you know what, I'm a father or I'm a mother now, these are the things that I need to let go, that won't do me any good in raising this child. So it's not just about shaping the child, it's also about shaping yourself. You also, our past ought to make way for a new plan. So the reason that you went through certain things in your life was for you to be able to recognize that you need a different route. Your past is a point of reference that you can always say, no, we can't do that in our lives because that didn't work, or they did that but nope, it doesn't work right now. So your past can be a point of reference, but there must be things in your past that can help you to make new plans according to how you can raise your new family. We must emulate God's way of being a parent, and God being that gardener, you know, the greatest actually gardener that ever was. So you need to ask yourself, what can I become for this child? Can I become an inspiration? Can I become a source of courage? Can I become a prayer partner? Can I become a comfort place? Can I become a confidence activator, just like Mapulele Khodi would say, you know? And so you need to invite God to prune you and to shape you while shaping your young one as well. Because if you are not willing to change, but you want to grow your child and to change them, how is that helpful? How is So you need to allow God to prune you as much as you are pruning your child. You have habits and behaviors and things that you need to let go, and only God can help you through them. Also, there's some things you need to leave behind. Some examples that were set by your parents that are not applicable to you right now or to your own family. Doesn't mean you are, I don't know, detaching yourself with them, but there might be things that didn't work out, or they didn't get the results that they wanted also once they started to apply those things. And you need to leave our unpleasant past experiences behind, though they shaped us to the people that we are, but we need to let go of those things so that we can raise our children with a clear mind, with a clear heart. You're not trying to prove a point or compete with a certain person or a certain friend of yours, or I can do that. So we also need to emulate God's parenting aspects, and we've recognized 3 of them that God uses. He is his presence. God is hands-on. He's hands-on on everything that we do. He guides us, he directs us, he protects us. He's always there, and you will always be a part of your child's life, and God gives us that character of him in the influence of our children. So we actually get to be present in their lives, even when they don't want us. They still have our blood in them. So God forges a personal relationship with each and every one of us. So we actually also have to aim to do the same with our children, to forge that personal relationship with them and be present. Being present is to be available for your child, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but also physically. So just because you're able to counsel and speak to your child at home, but you can't be at their sports game and be present when they want to play with you, then that's something else different. So we need to be fully present for our children also. And we need to learn to prioritize. God is all about family. You see it throughout the Bible, where he speaks about family, we're all sons and daughters. And he regards the way we treat our family as more of an important testimony, So how you treat your family will actually also play a role in how you teach your children, So prioritizing means to be able to put other things on hold to put your family first, meaning your career goals also. Can you be able to put them on hold? Are you able to come on time from home and prioritize spending time with your family and your children and raising them, and be present, not be surprised by the things that they do because you're never there? So we need to learn to prioritize, because God prioritizes. He gives you, when you're born, he has a purpose for your life, and he already directs you and prioritizes it with the people that he makes sure that are surrounding you to help you raise you according to that will. So I hope you understand what I mean here. And you will see that on Psalm 127 also. Purpose also, that's one of the aspects that God uses for parenting. He places a calling on each and every one of us, in our lives, and we receive tailor-made grace also that helps us to actually achieve that purpose, and individualized rewards, and then where the Lord will actually say, once you get those gifts, you'll be able to receive rewards, for practicing in them. So I hope you understand what I've trying to talk about today, and I want to give you an assignment that you can actually start to actually evaluate yourself. How has God used parenting to shape you? The person that you are today. What has God done? What kind of people has He made sure that you are raised around? I was raised by my aunt. I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother is the one that introduced me to Christ. Had I not been raised by her, maybe I would have known God at an older age and would have missed out on many other opportunities. I was raised by my aunt, who was married for quite some time, so I got to experience how a marriage life is like with my cousins. So I actually got to have siblings before I had my sister 15 years after. And I was raised by my uncle also in Cape Town, who worked at a hospital, and he used to use the school transport to fetch me from school that was like an hour away, and we stayed at the shack in Cape Town. So how has God allowed the things that had happened in your life to shape you, and to become the type of parent that you are today? Access those things, and analyze yourself and see how has God used parenting to shape you. And also, are you going to allow parenting to transform your heart? Or are you just going to take over and be like, what, I've got this? Or you are open to say, what, I want to change. I want to see how am I to that God has given me an opportunity to somebody's life to depend on me. If I don't give them food, they'll die, else they suffocate. So that's how important you are to somebody else's life. So you have to see if analyze if how has parenting transformed your heart. Also, am I ready to forgive and move on? It's very important that we learn to start parenting on a clean slate. You actually need to forgive people that have done things to you so that your heart is actually lighter, and you don't resent things that can actually limit you now in raising your kids in the right way. And you're also willing to hear other people's opinion and stories out. What is my biggest parental failure? And who still needs to forgive me about it? So we sit on what we've done wrong. We sit on, oh my gosh, I think I'm bad. I think I'm such a bad parent. I shouldn't have done that. But you need to first forgive yourself and also know that was wrong and why did you do that, so that you find the source. Because once you find the source, it's easier to say, okay, what do I need to do to be forgiven? You need to ask for forgiveness from your children. You need to forgive yourself, and you need to pray to God that they help your child also to find the heart to forgive you for what you've done. So what can I do about it today? You can ask for forgiveness, like I've said, and pray that God helps the other person your child to understand you, or even ask for forgiveness from your parents also if you've done something to them to harm them. Or am I affectionate and a hands-on parent? Once you're a parent, you need to be affectionate. You can't push your kids like garbage. You need to be an affectionate person to understand when they cry, when they need your attention, and be hands-on, not just the nanny who you tell what to do when they are the ones that wake up at night to feed the child, but you need to be there and hands-on so that your child can feel your presence, because as much as you can show love, the kids can only feel it, not just hear it. Are you willing to engage and show grace when kids disappoint and when they please you? So you can't always just only be happy and show gratitude when your kids do things right. Also, when they do something wrong, teach them what that does wrong mean, what are the implications, and do it with a good heart, do it with a loving heart, so that they actually know that you mean well. You're not here to watch their every action, but you are there to also forgive them of the small things that you might be disappointed what they did, because that's what God does to you every day. He forgives you for everything that you do, that you've done wrong towards him and towards his people. So we need to have that heart of God as well. How do my practical priorities show that I place my kids ahead of my career and personal pursuits? So you need to ask yourself that. Am I able to put my kids first? Am I able to be practical about those priorities? Am I able to tell them at work that I need to do certain things for my children and make them understand? Know that work is not important, but do they know that your priorities are set up straight and your family comes first, and you will do anything for them? And do I prune each child according to their nature, or do I have a one-styled that fits all approach? So it is important to learn to know what your child's special about, what's special about them, what makes them them, what makes Ndloso. Oh, she is calm, she is content, she's so loving, she cares about, she wants to do things for you, she wants to help around the house, she loves cooking, she loves baking. But Pazzi is always playing, making noise, making sound, characters, being Peppa Pig, being Mama Pig. She is all fun and all colorful, paints my walls every week, and that's because they're different. How do you then prune those characters, understanding that they are different, and how you nurture them according to the type of people that God has made them to be? And that will be our next series. That will be the temperament that God has given your child, that will help you to know what your child is called for, so that you raise them in a godly way, that God would actually help you to raise them in, so that you know what they are, so that you actually invest in what they are best at, and actually know how to discipline, how to direct, how to disciple, how to dialogue, how to raise them in that way. So guys, thank you so much. I hope you remember what we spoke about today, that how you get ready as a parent, what things you need to ask yourself, and also where your mind should be, that you also need shaping as much as your child, and what can you become for your child, and also the godly aspects of you being present, and you having priorities, and also understanding the purpose of your child, and the things that you need to prepare yourself for and be ready for and change before you feel like you are the best parent in the world. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm hoping that I'll catch you up on the next series. I hope you can do some evaluation today according to what I've shared. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you.